Aren't we lucky? Elon's in the Oval, folks. Listen up.
At a high level, you say, what is the goal of DOGE, and I think a significant part of the presidency is to restore democracy.
Restore democracy? Had we lost it, Elon? Where'd it go?
This may seem like, well, aren't we in a democracy? Well, if you don't have a feedback loop, we'd have to, if you sorry.
He's so adorable, especially when he's being used as a human shield.
It's not a good feedback loop from the people to the government. And if you have rule of the bureaucrat, if the bureaucracy is in charge, and then what meaning does democracy actually have? If the people cannot vote and have their will be decided by their elected representatives in the form of the president and the Senate and the House. And
a handful of horny little boys who are not even 25 years old yet, who happen to be super racist and kind of gross and, have already done cyber crimes. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Then we don't live in a democracy. If the people cannot vote and have their will be decided by their elected representatives in the form of the president and the Senate and the House, then we don't live in a democracy. We live in a bureaucracy. So it's incredibly important that we close that feedback loop, we fix that feedback loop, and that the public's elected representatives, the president, the House, and the Senate, decide what happens, as opposed to a large, unelected bureaucracy.
Who's not elected here, Elon? Who's not elected here, dude? X, do you know?
But you can't have an autonomous federal bureaucracy. You have to have one that's responsive to the people. That's the whole point of a democracy.
Responsive to the people? You mean like the ones who are protesting outside the departments that you're grifting? You mean all the people who are up in arms about you being inside the Treasury, potentially writing code? All the people in the world who are like, who the hell is this crazy dude who just came in and took over? Who are the people, Elon, if it's not those people?
Well, we have this unelected, fourth unconstitutional branch of government, which is the bureaucracy, which has, in a lot of ways, currently more power than any elected representative. And this is not something that people want, and it does not match the will of the people. So it's just something we've got to fix.
You keep coming back to the will of the people, but Elon, nobody likes you. So, where's that will? Where is it?
And we've also got to address the deficit. So we've got a $2 trillion deficit, and if we don't do something about this deficit, the country's going bankrupt.
The deficit, you silly goose. Where'd that deficit come from? Didn't all your buddies get a little tax break? All those guys who are sitting at the inauguration, all the ones sitting on those piles of money.
And if that just keeps going, we're essentially going to bankrupt the country. So what I really want to say is, it's not optional for us to reduce the federal expenses. It's essential. It's essential for America to remain solvent as a country, and it's essential for America to have the resources necessary to provide things to its citizens and not simply be servicing vast amounts of debt.
You didn't do such good stuff for X, so I don't know if we should trust you, Elon. Also, the orange dude sitting next to you, he's not such a good businessman.
And also, could you mention some of the things that your team has found?
Grandpa, you're there? Oh my God, forgot you were alive. All right, let's hear it.
If you look at, say, Treasury, for example, basic controls that should be in place, that are in place in any company, such as making sure that any given payment has a payment categorization code, that there is a comment field that describes the payment, and that if a payment is on the do not pay list, that you don't actually pay it. None of those things are true currently. So the reason that departments can't pass audits is because the payments don't have a categorization code. And this, we're talking about terrorist organizations, we're talking about known fraudsters, known aspects of waste, known things that do not match any congressional appropriation. It can take up to a year to get on the list, and even once on the list is not used. It's mind-blowing.
You would know about minds being blown, wouldn't you, Elon?
Haven't been present. So they say, well, how could such a thing arise? That seems incredible. Then you understand the motivations. So if people receive money, they don't complain, obviously. But if people don't receive money, they do complain. Because if you approve all the payments, you don't get complaints.
God, you're insufferable, aren't you?
Your tax dollars need to be spent wisely.
Wouldn't it be that maybe Starlink was being investigated? That's got a little something to do with something, doesn't it, Elon?
I mean, these things, it's just common sense. It's not draconian or radical, I think. It's, there's crazy things like...
I'm just kind of like when you said that the babies who come down the birth canal, if they get their head squeezed, they don't have as much brain power. Yeah, that was crazy too. Yeah, people believed you when you said that. So
obviously, we want to make sure that people who deserve to receive Social Security do receive it, and that they receive it quickly and accurately. Also, another crazy thing. So you just make sure that this obviously there needs to be a lot of people working for the federal government.
Uh-oh, Trump's puckering. That's a bad sign. Productivity. That means replace people with AI. That's code. Because everybody thinks you're a kookabug. And they know Orangina is about to squash you. And they're wondering if you noticed that X flipped out the window and he's currently running towards the street.
Your detractors, Mr. Musk,
What?
including a lot of Democrats,
I have detractors?
you do, sir,
I don't believe it.
say that you're orchestrating a hostile takeover of government and doing it in a non-transparent way. What's your response to that criticism?
Who, me? Hostile takeover? What?
Well, first of all, you couldn't ask for a stronger mandate from the public.
No, dude. No, dude. No. Wasn't a mandate. Was a squeaker.
The people voted for major government reform.
People didn't vote for you, Elon. They didn't vote for you all up in our business. They didn't vote for you to burn down the system.
Mr. Musk, the White House says that you will identify and excuse yourself from any conflicts of interest that you may have. Does that mean that you are in effect policing yourself? What are the checks and balances that are in place to ensure that there is accountability and transparency?
I'm just really trustworthy. Don't you trust me? I mean, don't you love it when I do this with my hands? Doesn't that look super trustworthy?
Well, we actually are trying to be as transparent as possible. In fact, maximally transparent. In fact, I don't think there's been, I don't know of a case where an organization's been more transparent.
Pretty sure there's a few cases, Elon. Pretty sure. You know, Stephen Miller can't be out of the water for very long. Yeah, he's a swamp creature. You got to get him back in the water. And that's about all I can take. Okay, yeah. All I can say is have the day you deserve, dude. Have the day you deserve. Okay?